So hi, Susan Davis here. So I'm going to put some lasagna together. I've got my baking tray. Just going to rub it with a bit of oil. Okay. And so we're going to put it together with lasagna sheets. I've got some meat sauce, which is a bolognaise sauce. It's just meat, tomato puree, lots of onions and celery, and plenty of garlic, onions and carrots. There's dry oregano in there, some bay leaf for flavour, and water. So what I like is a little bit more liquid consistency to help with the lasagna sheets. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that, and that will help your lasagna sheets to swell up nicely. Okay, and here's my cheese sauce to put. I'm going to put a little bit in between, and the rest will go on top. So let's start with the lasagna sheets. It doesn't really matter if they overlap. I usually just break the sides like that, and then they fit nicely in the container. So we've got something that looks a bit like this, and then that can go in like that. Put some cheese sauce on. Spread it out a bit. If you like, you can put vegetables in the layers, like sliced courgettes, some maybe aubergines. If you don't want to use pasta, then you could layer it with things like make a potato lasagna, which would be similar like a moussaka, or if you make it with aubergines instead of the pasta, it becomes a traditional moussaka basically. And I'm just going to put a little bit of cheese sauce on this one, and stuff like that really. Or if you want a low carb, you could use things like celeriac to layer it up. Or you can add things like squash. So there's lots of opportunities that you could use there. Layer. Once you've got the sauces ready, it's quite easy to put together this dish. Gently pressing it so the layers they touch each other. One more layer of sauce. It's best not to overfill your container, because then you need to leave it in the oven till it's cooked all the way through and it's bubbling through. And when that happens, there's always a danger of it overflowing and making a mess. So mine is quite full now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit it in another baking tray so that it doesn't overflow into the oven. Just going to press that down a little bit, and now top it up with the cheese sauce. That's my bay leaf. Now you've got a lasagna there enough for 4 people as large servings, or if you're just a few people, you've got enough for the next day. I quite like my lasagna cold the next day as well. It's really nice. So there we are. All we've got to do now is finish this off with a little bit of grated hard cheese. The parmesan type cheese is nice. Or you can sort of, and if you do want to do cheese sauce, you can top it up with a bit of mozzarella, or put mozzarella in the layers if you like. There we are. that's it. So that's going to go in a preheated oven. I'm using gas oven at the moment, so it's going to go into 6 degrees. Or if you've got a regular oven, 170 is nice. It's best to cook it long and slow. And that's it. Yeah, lasagna. So, this is the lasagna. Let's just put it on the lasagna. So to check if your lasagna is cooked before you take it out of the oven, just take a knife or a fork and just stick it in. So you want the pasta to be cooked all the way through, and that's how you can check that it's done. And also the sauce would have been bubbled all the way up the sides, okay? So that's been in the oven for actually about 40 minutes. So I know it's cooked, and I'm taking that out of the oven now.